located on Northumberland.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Toon review. And tonight we have another transfer show for you, but with a little bit of a difference because we're just going to be talking about certain main subjects that have cropped up in the last 24 to 48 hours, discussing them. Obviously, the white smoke has been bellowing out from St. James's Park as the Pope has arrived. 10 million quid on a 4-year deal, which I think, looking at it now, the more and more I like this deal. I wasn't sure about it at first, but like I say, the more and more I see it, I've listened to Nick Pope and I think, yeah, this guy's ready to go. He's ready to play for us and he's ready to do the business. So that's all that counts for me. Everybody's now comparing him, saying, hey, will it be him or Dubravka number one? I genuinely do believe that Nick Pope is going to start the season as number one. I believe that's what he's being told. Otherwise, I don't see why he signs just to sit on his backside with a World Cup year coming up. It's not the way Nick Pope would want to do things, I don't think, but he's got to prove himself, and that's very important as well. He has to prove himself. He has to be at the top of his game from the word go. Also on the Ekitike deal, now I did a video earlier on today because I spoke about basically the journalist who first linked us with Ekitike to Newcastle United back in January, released the story this morning that Newcastle United were pulling out. Now, Sky and etc. have said we're still in for him. Fair enough. But I saw a report and I'm reporting on it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying anything that I'm in the know or nothing like that.
I've seen a few reports saying exactly the same. So.
Yeah, some of the comments to the YouTube video have been absolutely outstanding, really. Just made me laugh, thinking, who said this? Who said this?
It's all your fault, Paul.
It's all my fault, yeah. It's the reporter who actually linked us with him in the first place. Now, take it or leave it. I don't really care at this point. If he signs or not, fair enough. If he signs, we'll bring it to you that he signed. If he hasn't, so be it. We'll move on. Life goes on. It's not life or death. But nearly 10,000 people have watched the video, so they must be interested. But there you go. So we'll talk about him as well, and then we'll just talk about other things, just what you guys think of all this transfer rigmarole, because we're getting down the line now and, people are still panicking when, I don't understand why. But anyway, exactly. We'll start on the with some of the comments, guys. Clarky's in the house. Tony says the Pope has blessed us with his presence. Indeed, he has. Kunga Fox is very happy with Pope. Hope we walk from the Ekitike deal. It's just taking a piss. Ronald says hi. Pilo Keith, even though Pope signing is brilliant, walking away from the Ekitike deal shows great resilience. I would not be surprised if this prompts a reaction and the deal is rekindled. Now, that is something that could happen, Danielle, quite clearly, is that Newcastle United walk away, Ream then start to panic and say, look, this agent's got to do one. It's just, we need the money. And then suddenly the deal is rekindled. That could it could well happen.
Well, at this point, anything could happen, really. I mean, I think the player, if the reports this morning were true about us walking away due to the agent, whether he's delaying or whether he's just not agreeing to the kind of terms that we've offered, allegedly, about whether Ekitike will be that happy with him. Based on that fact, if he really wants to come, it's all up in the air. There's so many variables. Does he really want to come? Does he not really want to come? Is the agent, being as obstructive as it's being reported? Is it the club? There's so many different areas. And to be honest, I think in terms of the Newcastle United, I think we'll be looking at multiple players in the same position. So I don't think there'll be as much pressure on the transfer team in that sense, because I think we'll already be looking at other options ongoing anyway. So I think we've got the flexibility to be able to say, right, enough's enough, we're not playing this game anymore, let's move on to the next target, and then see what happens. It could very well stretch throughout the whole transfer window. June's notoriously quiet anyway for transfers, so it could be one that happens later on the line.
I mean, Billy, we've we know that this guy has changed his agent very recently because he wasn't happy with the last one. And I've seen some people stating, the player himself has got a lot to do with it if he's following his agent's instruction. Now, we know that his agent has cancelled 2 meetings with Newcastle United in the past when they were due to come and finalise the deal well and truly, because suddenly other clubs put the head above the water and then said that, we're interested in him. Now, his agent is clearly doing something here, because that is in no doubt, because many different people have reported that his agent is looking for better deals. His agent is wanting to bump up the price. His agent is wanting more money for himself. So as the player, Billy, what do you do now? Because he agreed personal terms. He's agreed a fee. What do you do if you're the player?
I'm not sure how he stands legally with his agent. Has he given him a contract? Has Ekitike give the agent a contract? Because this kind of behaviour, you'd sack him straight away, wouldn't you? If you've agreed personal terms with the club's agreed a fee with the selling club, that should be the end of it. And the agent's trying to negotiate more on top for himself, or he's trying to encourage other clubs to come in. That's irrelevant. Once everything's agreed between the clubs and the player and the buying club, that should be the end of it.
Something's going on, isn't it? Something is clearly going on behind in the background with this agent.
Unless the player himself changes his mind,
that is a possibility. Yeah,
we're just kind of guessing really what's going on.
I don't think many people do know what's happening, because
I don't think anyone does.
All of these reports contradictory all the time, saying it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. We've walked away, we're back in.
And if the player has changed his mind, then just come out and say it. You don't want to come to Newcastle now. You've changed your mind. Or do something about this agent who is, at the minute, stifling your career, because you've been made to look a fool at the minute. And that's not how he wants to come across as a young kid. He's been led astray by an agent, I think. And that has to be... something needs to be done about that. Trolls, thank you for your 50 Norwegian kroner again, mate. Really kind. Thank you so much. And if you notice, Danielle is in sparkling HD tonight. You're on the new MacBook, I believe.
I am, yes.
There you go. So improvements all around, clear as day. There you go. P-Law Keith says, I started again on the watch-alongs. Your quote during the Southampton game will go down in history. Wood scores and breaks his duck, quack, quack, fuck off. Shakespeare would be proud of that. Yeah, exactly. Shakespeare is who I took all my commentary quotes from.
Obviously.
Reading Hamlet and stuff like that, Majestic says, evening all, great news signing Pope. We'll offer some competition to Dubs. Ekitike cake, really frustrating. The whole transfer saga is so tiring now, along with Botman. Kamal says, good evening, everyone. Good old agent Trips having a nice word on international duty with Popey. Popey is now, he seems to be getting known by everybody. David Smith, good evening. Evening all. Good to see Ashworth playing hardball with all the agents. Sets the tone that we will not just roll over. Now, like I said, Billy, this video I did earlier on today, I did it because this guy who reported it was the guy who actually linked us with Ekitike in January. And he's got a lot of clout behind him. And that's why I did the video. And again, I have to state, this channel is not in the know. It never will be. It doesn't want to be in the know, quite frankly. But any news that we gather, we'll do videos or live shows and we'll talk about it. So that's it. But there's no smoke without fire here, Billy. There's something, well, in Nick Pope's case, there is smoke. Indeed. But, I just find this whole saga, and along with Botman as well, it's becoming a little tiring now, obviously, because, nobody knows what's happening, truly, and time ticks on. Now, if you were somebody at Newcastle, would you now just say, right, we need to have a look at other targets? Or do you think that we're already discussing them behind the scenes?
I would hope so. I mean, it seems to me like every time we approach to buy someone from Ligue 1, something gets in the way, whether it be the club, the player, the agent, there's always a stone in the shoe, isn't there? That stops things from happening. So, yeah, I'd imagine that they'll have different targets. I mean, I've heard PSG could be interested in Ekitike now. If that's the case, we could go after that young lad that we looked at last week, Cali Mwendo. He looks just as good, if not better. So there's always other options there. Always other options there.
I do truly believe that there is, like you say, Billy, there's a lot of options out there. And, the thing is, though, as well, Danielle, this is what we're going to face now moving forward as a club. We're going to face these clubs who have, or these players who have ridiculous agents, etc. And, we are going to be stifled by them on numerous occasions. Just before you answer that, we've had a $50 super chat from George Hayes. Thank you very much, George. He says, when do we start using the phrase, just could not get them over the line? Just need to move on and get somebody who wants to come here. Who knows who is creating the issues, but usually greedy agents. And Stotty55, £4.49. Thank you very much. There's no comment there, but thank you again for a donation, matey. It will go to good use. So, yeah, Danielle, I mean, this is what we're going to face.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's probably going to get worse, as we improve as a team, like at the moment, we've also got the extra struggle in terms of being able to attract the kind of players we want to attract because of the lack of European football. And I think that's not helping either. But once we get to those dizzy heights of Champions League and we're talking big names, of course we're going to have this, because with big players comes big money, comes big cut for the agents. So they want to make as much money as they can. Simple as that. So, hey, look, again, looking back 12 months, I'll take it. I'll take being in this position 100%.
Absolutely, 100%. Monty Magpie says, hitting nearly 3 million views on the Toon Review channel. Yep, we're nearly at 3 million views, which is quite remarkable, really. And we are above 11,600 subscribers now, so we're less than 400 away from hitting 12K, and it's all down to you guys out there for supporting us, and we will forever be grateful for that. Geordie Metal, thank you for your £20 super chat, mate. He says, surely it's about time they bring out some sort of legislation to stop the greedy agents. I agree with that. I think that, something has to be done. But Billy, this has been going on for a lot of years now with agents, hasn't it? Not just the last couple of years. This has been a long-term thing with agents.
25 years or so, maybe longer. Yeah. There obviously was a time when players used to negotiate their own wages and deals and what have you. But they kind of snuck in. I think the first one was probably Gaza with Lazarus and Steen. They weren't actually agents, but they were legal representatives of his, and they negotiated his wage and what have you. Then the agents appeared. Something should have been done there and then about it, really, because they've been like vermin. They've kind of bred, and now you can't get them out now. There's too many of them. There's super agents now. You've got agents owning football clubs. Gone way past the time it should have gone to, really. It should have been well finished ages ago. And the clubs, it's in the interest of everyone, the clubs, the players. Yeah. They're going to make more money out of this. For agents not to be there, and the agents have creamed off the money off the top of the pie. And it's supposed to be a working man's game. And when you've got agents making millions and millions and millions of pounds each year, it's never going to be that again, is it? I
think it stinks me, because there's no doubt in my opinion something is going on with the agent, and I know Ekitike is only 20, right? But he needs now to put his foot down with whoever it is that's delaying this, and say, if it's not the player himself, he then needs to turn around and say, right, I want to go to Newcastle, make it happen. That's what I'm paying you for. But these agents just think about their own bloody pockets, their own bloody money time and time again, and it spoils everybody. It spoils it for the player. The player gets to look a bit ridiculous. And, I think Botman's in a different situation because that's a club level. He it's not his agent causing problems. It's the club. It's Lille themselves who are just all over the shop at the minute.
At the moment, it might get to that though, mightn't it? That's the next step.
It may well, yeah. Toon Dave, thank you for your £5 super chat. Really kind, bud. He says, less than 2 weeks of the window being open, 2 players in, and Dan Ashworth. Excellent business so far. Keep the faith, everyone. Absolutely, mate. But I can see where frustration is creeping in because because of this Botman and Ekitike deals that have gone on. I'd just like us maybe just to say, right, let's explore other avenues. And see if we can, because there is other players out there. We've highlighted that in 1,000,001 transfer shows that we've done, and we've also done free transfers as well. So there is definitely scope out there for other players. Tampa Toon, thank you for your $50 super chat. That is amazing, mate. Thank you very much. He says it's time to annoy the donation hater if it's here. Well, who knows if he's here? He could have changed his name, mate, for all we know.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
Who knows? But we'll move on from Ekitike for the moment. I mean, God news could come in while we're on air. You never know. It's crazy. Santosh, good evening. He says, hi all. It's a decent start to transfer business. Let's hope the quality will keep coming. Louis says he's arrived from the Vatican. Yeah, I've seen loads of memes on there about the Pope Mobile and everything driving around. Pedro says, I hope we start aiming higher for our next couple. Assigning as Pope for me is need different than Doobs. Again, very popular opinion. That's good evening, Paul. Barry's in the house. Dan, good evening. Sai says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Looking forward to another great show tonight. Thank you very much. And by the way, Jamie says, here we go. It's Stato's time. It's not. Unfortunately, Stato is somewhere in Europe.
Somewhere between Germany and Poland, I would think. Somewhere.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a rotten time at the minute because he got 2 punctures last night, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the queue for the ferry today was an absolute farce. So we don't actually know where he is at the minute, but he's somewhere in Europe. But we hope he gets it all sorted. Terry says, great channel. Thanks, mate. Ken, good evening. Jock, good evening. Jordan says, just popped on to say hi. Hope everyone has a good show. Fantastic news about Pope. Danielle, what's your thoughts about Nick Pope?
I'm similar to you. So I was quite underwhelmed when it was first kind of brought out, rumours and stuff. And I thought, I don't know about this. And then because I'm totally team Dubravka, I always have been. I think he's a quality keeper. However,
well, to
I'm
be
aware,
fair, Danielle, your team, whoever puts on the shirt, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously, but I do kind of recognise he has his weaknesses in terms of his distribution and everything like that. But having time to think on it, I think it's only going to benefit Newcastle United having two quality keepers like Dubravka and Pope. If they want to compete with each other, crack on. Like, it's only going to be better for us. I'd rather say, for example, obviously you're of the opinion that Nick Pope will have the number, will be number one choice. Perhaps he will, but I think, isn't it good to think that, should the worst happen and, one of them who's playing has an injury, we've got an equally excellent goalkeeper ready to come on, and we don't have to rely on Caldolo, no disrespect intended. But yeah, I think it's a great signing. I think he's the right kind of person, not just player. I think he's got the right kind of personality that will fit in with the kind of ideas and the ethos at the club, which is a great
absolutely
move. But other than that, welcome to the Toon. Welcome aboard the madhouse, because that's what it is.
It is. Keith Dites, thank you for your $10 super chat. He says, I think the instability in attack is why everyone is really worked up about the Hugo deal. Between Wilson's health and Wood's uselessness, we really want good news about reinforcements at striker. You know what? I've bought this iMac, and I've now got into Football Manager. I'm only about 8 games in. But Chris Wood is thought very highly at Newcastle on Football Manager, and I don't understand why. But I've left him out my squad altogether. There you go. One thing, Nick Pope, really, I listened to a bit. He spoke to NUF TV, the official Newcastle United television, when he signed, and he spoke about Bobby Robson. And this is what Nick Pope had to say. It's about a minute long. But just listen to, about his Ipswich supporting days and Sir Bobby.
So for Sir Bobby, for myself, I was an Ipswich Town fan growing up, and obviously used to watch, be a season ticket holder there and watch their games. And Sir Bobby is someone who's a massive part of, the history of that football club. And obviously my old man, who used to take me down there, is someone that always spoke incredibly highly of him and what he'd done for the football club there. And obviously when he moved to Newcastle, it's someone that we as a family followed a little bit because of him, really. So always known kind of Newcastle from the outside as a massive kind of football city, and a team that, or a club that, even when things are going well or not going well, that the fans in the city really stick with the team and try and drag them forward with them. So it's something that, from the outside, a club that I think everyone would want to be a part of, in regards to having that level of support.
So there you go. Peter Merrifield, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, hi, Toon Review family. Stadium must be fuming with Ekiteke's agent. Bad language must be coming out from the French club. I'm seeing people in the comments saying Sky said it's still on. No, it might be. you know. But this reporter who, you know, I trust because he came out with it in January that we were interested in him, and you know, I trust what he says. Billy, there's a few people saying, can you just turn your mic down a touch? But the volume's really high on it. Speak.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay?
that's spot on. Yeah. It's these mics, these Blue Yetis are sensitive as hell. Trust me. Vernon says, very good evening. Glenn wants to know how much he's on weekly. I have no idea what the wage is. Anybody heard?
A lot.
I would say it's a decent wage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 4-year deal.
As much as I know. 4 year with an option for a 5th.
Right.
With an extra year at the end, yeah.
Right. And he's 30 now, isn't he? So really, we've got him in his prime, Billy.
Yeah. I mean, goalkeepers 32, 33 generally is the goalkeeper's prime, 27 to 32. They can play on to the 38, 39. Listen, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that. He's a fantastic shot stopper. Obviously, a decent young man. The way he spoke there I thought it was fantastic. Obviously, they're not going to come to a club they've just signed for and say, well, I've always hated Newcastle. I didn't ever want to play here, but obviously he's going to come out and say great things. You know what I mean? Obviously he's going to say great things. And he did.
Not Michael Owen, let's be honest.
Well, this is true. Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. And I don't think, to be honest, let's put this in perspective. I'm not sure we'd be even after a goalkeeper if it wasn't for Dubravka's injury problems. The amount of times, even after he came back from injury last year, he was limping, holding his foot. I think they're worried about Dubravka's fitness long term as well as short term. And to get a great quality goalkeeper in, as Nick Pope is, for £10 million, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. I think he'll definitely start the season as number one. Definitely.
Yep. Luke says, hey, guys, start following you guys a few weeks ago and absolutely love the channel and the banter you guys have. This is my first time catching you guys live. Thank you for all your effort. Thanks, Luke. Up the A1 says, please, Nick Pope is signed. Watching Pope's interview sounds grounded, no ego, just a desire to be all he can be. Can see why they went for him. That's another one. Keith, thank you for your $17.99 super chat. He says, good evening, Paul, Danielle, and Billy. Pleased with the signing of Nick Pope. I'm going to do a poll, guys. I think
I love a poll.
Steady on, Danielle.
Just stop it.
Hey, I didn't say anything. I didn't know where you were going. Family show and all that. I'm going to put, are you happy with the Nick Pope signing? So, because I'm interested to know what our viewers think. You know, are they happy with Pope or they're not happy with Pope? There you go. So it's a simple yes or no poll. It's there at the top now. So get voting, guys. I'm interested to see how many of you are happy with the Nick Pope signing and aren't. Gavin says, Guy at the bottom needs to turn his mic. Listen, Billy's got the flu, right? Can I just state that as well? And he's just setting up his equipment and he's getting used to everything. He's got a brand new camera, brand new microphone, and we're helping him with his settings and stuff like that. So chill, everybody. It's, you know, Billy's doing his best to get everything set up and right. So don't worry. We will talk about that, Danielle. Indeed. We will talk about it now. Season tickets. A bit of a
controversial.
Well, should it be controversial, though? I mean, are the club actually doing the best they can here? Because for me, I mean, Danielle, we'll start with you. I don't think the club, it didn't matter what the club done, they were going to face a backlash.
No, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't, in my opinion. It's like, you know, there's so much to say about it because, you know, so many of the fans walked away and rightfully so, and, you know, I did the same. So how do they do it? So I don't understand. What do a lottery, and then what happens if you're not picked? Then it's fixed or whatever, and you know, and I don't know. I just think they're doing their best. The owners are doing their best, and from my personal opinion, I'm not going to try and get a season ticket just because it doesn't work for me and Lee as well with work and stuff. It's a waste of money for us for the amount of games we'd be able to attend. But I made the decision to walk away.
Try telling that to John Sinclair.
Well, I know. Well, yeah. I mean, I made the decision to walk away. Lee kept his season ticket a little bit longer, and then eventually gave up when Rafa left. But that's my decision, and I live by it. And I you know, I take whatever happens. So if I was going to get one and I couldn't get one, then that's just how it is. You know, I made that decision, and you know, all those amazing people who didn't give up their season tickets and stayed in that ground, having miserable Saturday after miserable Saturday every week, watching dross. Good on them, they deserve to be in there. So I don't have any hard feelings, and I'm not crying about it. I think, you know what, like I'll have a membership, I'll go to games as and when I can go. And even sometimes when I can't get a ticket, I'll still go to the ground and see you guys like I normally would before. That's not
because
stop.
you know, some of the pubs around have the game on as well. It's just soaking up that atmosphere. War Jackie, thank you for becoming a member of the Toon Review. Not sure if that's a renewal or a new membership, but thank you so much and welcome to the family. Jordan says, my phone was going off saying it's on, back on again. Same as you, mate. If it happens, nice. If it doesn't, next. Exactly. Gary Scott Wishart, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, now that the Pope has arrived, when is Jesus coming? Oh, well, Jesus, but yeah, that would be incredible. Up the A1 says it's been too long-winded now with Ekitike. Mark says Pope would only sign for the club if he was guaranteed #1 spot. He has to play to go to the World Cup. Billy, about the tickets, I mean, you know, like Danielle said there, you know, for me, it's very, very difficult for the club because there's only a certain amount of seats available. And we know that there's a massive waiting list. You know, I was lucky because last season, I don't know why, last summer, I just thought something's going to, I just got that feeling. I don't know what it was, that something was going to happen. I don't know why, but I turned around to Susan and said, I'm going to renew again. I'm going to go back. And, first quarter of the season, I was thinking, what the hell am I doing? But I love this football club, so I'm going to spend my money on it. Whether he's there or not, it didn't matter. And then luckily we got the takeover. But some people are in a different situation where they didn't renew or they didn't get the season ticket back. But there's only a certain amount of season tickets left.
It's a simple supply and demand issue, isn't it? There's more demand than there is supply. Unless we have a bigger stadium, we're always going to have this problem. And so that they can either extend St James's Park or move it or rebuild it or rebuild a new stadium, whatever. Until we can fit 70,000, 80,000 into a ground, we're going to have problems with season tickets. They've got 52,000 seats. There's only a certain amount of that can be season tickets. I think that would give us 35,000, 40,000, something like that, season ticket holders.
Yeah, late 30s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got to give the away club a certain amount of seats also. And you've also got to leave some for general release. So what can the club do? You know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I don't envy them the job of dishing them out, but I certainly don't envy the people queuing in on Tuesday morning to try and get one. It's going to be 100,000 people trying to get 1,000 tickets.
I don't know if the website will be able to cope.
I think
you know, if you know, we've seen historically with sites like Ticketmaster, or that ticketing sites are available, who when big gigs have gone on sale and they haven't been able to cope with the volume of traffic coming through. So it's going to be interesting. But picking up on season tickets as well, I saw somebody, I think it was on John's show last night, saying, is anyone thinking about a protest for the season ticket prices going up and walking out? Like, right, hang on. So you've got a season ticket. These prices have gone up, but now you want to complain about it. Well, don't worry. There's like 10,000 people behind you willing to take a ticket off you.
If you're not happy with it, if you're not happy with paying it, don't pay it. Mine's gone down.
Very good.
Monthly direct debit. Mine's gone down, and I'm not sure how that is possible, but it has. Unless it's because I made a late decision to take my season ticket back last season, and I missed the start of the direct debit. So obviously I was playing catch up throughout the season. That's the only reason I can think of. Renier, thank you for your membership as well. I think that might be renewal, but thank you very much, mate, and thank you for keep on supporting. Toon Dave makes an interesting point here. Still find it interesting that they didn't show much in a strip. Only a few background shots of the strips and no number being shown. Usually shows a number on a shirt, the signing, #1 for me. I didn't see any new shirt. Why, guys? I mean, something's not right
all
here.
The stock. That's why.
Same with Target. He was plain white t-shirt in when he signed also. So
we'll find out a week on Monday when I'm outside the shop waiting to go in and see if there's any shirts there or not. I'm doing a live video from St James's Park.
Wow. Okay. The thing is, it's starting to become a bit of a farce because we're bringing these new players in, and you know, I know Matty Tark was on loan, but when we brought him in permanently, he's not in a shirt. And then we signed Nick Pope today, and he's got an England flag wrapped around him.
There was a clip of him putting a shirt on, wasn't there?
Yeah, like the gold.
But it was the old
shirt.
green training top.
Is that
It looked like the old training top. You know,
I mean, they're obviously not going to release the numbers yet because they don't know.
No, the squad numbers don't have to be released.
Well, I think we can guess what Pope's will be. Yeah,
at least get a bloody white shirt though. Like,
I just find it
red
very
flag.
weird that we haven't seen any of the new shirts make an appearance yet.
I don't actually. We're doing with Castore, so
we are. But you know, those shirts, I mean, they've took my money. I was lucky I didn't get one of these emails saying, "Oh, you know, we're buggered, guys. We haven't got any stock left." I don't know.
It took them 4 weeks to tell me they didn't have stock when I ordered my other shirt. So
there you go. I think a strongly worded letter needs to come from the club to Castore, or a strongly worded phone call saying, "You're letting our fans down here. What the hell is going on? Sort it." Glenn says, believe it when they're wearing the top. I'm sure Eddie Howe knows exactly who he wants, so bollocks to the media. Indeed, Glenn.
Correct.
But like I say, if reports come about, then all we're doing is talking about them. That's what we're doing. We're not sitting here going, welcome to Newcastle. Ekitike is a Newcastle United player.
Embarrassing.
We're not doing that. We're talking about the links with the players. We're talking about what they'll bring to the club, etc. And we've always done that. And that's why, you know, I'm not going to sort of some of the comments on YouTube, on the YouTube video, I'll fire back because I think, hang on a minute, I'm not in the know. I've never pretended to be in the know. I'm talking about what I've read from a reporter that I trust. And there's not many of them.
I mean, why did his agent allow him to have the medical the other Saturday?
It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Michael says we got Pope ridiculously cheap. The best English keeper in the league. Pickford will be bricking it. That's an interesting one, Billy, because obviously now Pickford is in a direct fight with a Newcastle United goalkeeper for the England #1 job in the World Cup. Can Nick Pope overthrow him?
Well, he should do because he's a better goalkeeper.
Correct.
Yeah. But you've got to understand that the England manager isn't the best man for the job in the country. As an appalling manager who has really lots of deficiencies in the job he's doing. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like to pick Newcastle United players. We know that. The Matt Target should have been in the last England squad. So possibly should have Dan Burn have been in it. He won't pick Newcastle United players. He picked Trippier. He had to, basically, because he's the only bloke that he thought could play the left side of defence. So will Nick Pope overdo Jordan Pickford? Yes, I hope so. But you wouldn't guarantee it with Gareth Southgate.
Nah,
and also,
I agree.
There's the Ramsdale issue as well, because I think he likes him as well, doesn't he? Even though he was awful in the last international.
Mm-hmm.
He was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. But listen, I am a fan of Ramsdale's as well. I have to say he played pretty well for Arsenal last season. Some of the saves he made were incredible. I don't think, Danielle, and this isn't anything to do with Pickford being a Mackham or playing for Everton or whatever
having
it is.
Tiny arms.
Or tiny arms, or a penis the size of a pea. I just don't think he's good enough for England. I don't think he's as good as Pope or Ramsdale.
No, he's not. And I think linking in with what Billy said, I just think Gareth Southgate's made some questionable calls when making the England selection. Like, you know, saying he's picking players off form and then picking Harry Maguire. Like, what's happening here? I don't know. I think Billy's absolutely spot on, and I think we'll not see changes in terms of the team and selections until Gareth's gone, which probably won't be that long, I wouldn't think.
Well, the thing is with Billy's point there about the left back situation, you look at the last couple of England games, and you know we haven't had a proper left back there, and Matt Target's sitting there thinking, what does he have to do? You know, the finish he had the last season, the 6 months on loan at Newcastle United, he was absolutely superb. Now, I don't give a monkey's arse what the Villa fans say about Matt Target. They were the ones that voted him Player of the Year the season before. You know, so suddenly these turncoats are thinking, we've got Lucas Dean and everything's fine. Bollocks. He is one of the best left backs in England. There's no doubt in my mind about it. Mm-hmm. And he, for some reason, once again, Gareth Southgate just sort of, right, I'll put square pegs in round holes, instead of doing what he promised he was going to do when he took the England manager's job and said, oh, I will always play players who are in form. That is the job of me as an England manager. But they've all said that and have been turncoats, to be fair. But Mark says, should we go for Lewandowski, 34 million? That's a bargain. I can't see Lewandowski going anywhere but Barcelona, to be fair.
Agree.
Glenn says, in my opinion, Ekitike is one of the, for future anyways. I reckon we will sign another attacker or two now, even if we got Ekitike. Yes. By the way, I signed Patrick Schick on Football Manager, and holy moly, what a player. But unfortunately, he signed a new contract with Leverkusen, so he's out the issue as well. Guys, we've got 1,083 watching at the minute, which is utterly fantastic. You guys are incredible. You really are. If you are new to the channel and you like what you're watching, please do hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. On the way to 12,000 subscribers, you can hit the notification bell as well, which will let you know when we upload or go live. You can become a member of the Toon Review if you hit that join button just underneath the video itself as well. And if you want to get some merchandise, we have mugs available at the minute with a lot more to come, but this is what you can have at the minute.
So let's get down to business.
I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it.
Let's get down to business.
So there you go, guys. The toonreview.co.uk. If you want to purchase a mug at the minute, we'll get a batch order and then we'll send them off. We sent, must have been about 50 away on Wednesday. So everybody should be receiving theirs in the next couple of days. And Shane in Australia, yours was one of them, mate. So hopefully it gets there and isn't smashed. Unfortunately, we had one that went to Australia, which arrived broken. But listen, out of 160 odd mugs that we've sent off, only one has come back so far, touch wood, broken, but we have obviously offered to replace that and post it out to Australia again, completely free of charge. So, and for everybody, we are fighting all the time to lower the postage prices and packaging. We're learning as we go. It's me and Susan doing this. You know, we've never done this before. This is very, very new to us. So we are trying our very best to get everything sent out safely and securely, and are working on postage costs all the time. So they will come down as time goes on, but we are just new into this business, so bear with us, guys. Foxy says, Pope for £10 million. You can't be unhappy with that, to be honest. I don't think he's a huge upgrade on Dubravka, but we definitely have two very solid keepers now. Good competition for both. Billy, the big question is Dubravka going to be happy sitting on his backside if Pope starts the season number one?
If he's got any gumption about him, no, he won't be. So I would hope not. I would hope it would spur him on to bigger things. But it could obviously go the other way. He could obviously say, "Well, in that case, I want to be away."
Yeah.
Let's hope not. Let's hope he stays and fights for his place, because Dubravka's been a fantastic servant for us. Been a great goalkeeper, and as I said earlier, I don't think we'd have been after him, the goalkeeper, if it wasn't for Dubravka's foot issues, injury wise. So let's hope he knuckles down, tries to fight himself back in. He'll probably get a cup game early in the season. The Carabao Cup comes pretty early in the season, doesn't it? Play that, have a drama, and maybe keep his place that way. But yeah, I tend to think that he won't be happy sitting on the bench. He's an international goalkeeper. Why would you be?
Yeah. Northumberland Geordie, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, we've got a saint and a pope now. All we need is a Jesus. I forgot about that. Yeah, we've got a saint, haven't we? Bloody hell. Vortex says, hey guys, agents don't half piss me off. Yeah, a player needs protection. I get that. But when it comes to deals like this, it needs to be between the player and the clubs involved. Tell the monumental bellend to do one. I mean, yeah, I guess so. But I feel a little sorry for Ekitike in a way, being a young lad. He's only 20. This is a big move for him. But I just think he hasn't got a good agent who is advising him properly. But you know, surely his representatives around him can see that as well. But Danielle, what about Dubravka? I mean, you know, sitting on his backside at the start of the season, does he stay as the number two, or you know, come January next year, does he say, look, I need to be playing first team football here, I need to be away?
Hopefully not. Probably because the kind of person and player that Martin Dubravka is, he loves it. He loves to be in between those posts. So I think it's going to hurt him being on the bench. I really want him to stay. I don't want it to get to January and for him to leave. I'd be gutted if that happens. But, we'll have to move forward as a club. And sometimes, as much as I don't want to say it, we'll have to move on to kind of bigger and better things in all positions, really. So I think we're going to come to a point, where we're upgrading in other areas as well. And we'll lose players that we're emotionally attached to, perhaps. Well, definitely in my case. I mean, it could be anyone, let's be honest. It could, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be afraid of it. To be honest with you, I'd be afraid of him leaving now because with the World Cup coming up, January is no good to Dubravka. If he wants to leave, it will be before the September.
Has his country made the World Cup next year?
I'm not sure if they will not. I'm not sure if they will not.
I don't know.
Can tell you.
Cesare, thank you for your membership renewal, matey. I know you're a mod on this channel and a big part of the family, so thank you for that. This is interesting, and I did see a snippet of this earlier on today, but I didn't know what to think of it. Man United have identified Carl Darlow as Dean Henderson's replacement.
We don't do business with you, jog on.
50 million.
Well, yes, Billy, I 100% agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, 50 million quid. Bump up the price. Let's just string them along for a few weeks. But listen, Carl Darlow, he knows if he goes to Man United, he knows he's not going to be first choice.
They're not going to do now with him.
Nah, I can't
They're
see
not going to do anything with him. He'll sit on the bench forever and a day. Just exactly what he's doing at Newcastle United. What he needs to do is get some game time. He needs to go somewhere like not Forest, but Middlesbrough, somewhere like that in the Championship, and really rebuild the name that he has for himself. He doesn't want to be another victim of Old Trafford. Let's be honest. There's so many of them there anyway. I'm surprised the bench is big enough.
Yeah. Tony says HD Dipsy Vision tonight. Gang says everything is up to the player. No agent can do anything without player permission. Player is the hiring agent. Simple. Ab says Danielle looks Hollywood tonight.
Oh, thanks.
Well, there you go.
I'm boiling.
Only players who really want to play for the Toon, please. I'm not going to criticize Ekitike's agent just because he hasn't joined us. Ekitike is a good prospect and has very historic clubs interested in him, so good luck to wherever he goes. Still June, no rush. Foxy's laid back in a deck chair, chilling with a Cuban cigar.
Always the voice of reason.
Good for you, Foxy. Good for you.
You what, Billy?
Always the voice of reason, Foxy.
He is, very much so. Paul Tully says, evening, everyone. The club could well be playing here, putting it out there that the club are pulling out to send a message to the player for Ekitike to get more involved. Let's see. I do like the sound of that. It's a risky one. But
he's 20 years of age.
But we have to send a message to them. And I don't think Ream would mind us doing that, Billy, to be honest, because Ream are stuck as well because they don't know if they're going to get the money for the player.
They want the money, yeah. So Ream are not happy with it. We're not happy with it. If Ekitike has agreed personal terms, surely he's not happy with it. There's only one solution for it. Been the agent, but he might not be allowed to. It might be legally bound to him. I don't know. Something ain't right about it to me. Something isn't.
For me, I just feel like they're just going to waste it. Well, the agent, not the player. I think the agent's just going to waste time, like throughout the summer. Going to different clubs, offering the player, trying to get a better deal, and then eventually, perhaps they'll come back knocking and saying, actually, we want to make this deal happen. And whether by that time we'll have brought somebody else in or not, I don't think we'll wait. I think they're just going to move on and do something else. But that might be a last minute call.
But if Hugo's agreed personal terms, he should surely be on a phone to the agent saying, "Look, I've agreed personal terms. Get the papers. Well, I want to sign."
Am I right? He pays the agent, doesn't he?
Yes, of course he does. Yes.
So he would have should he have the right to turn around and say, "Look, I'm firing you"? Unless
do you know what I think? Do you know what I think this is all about? In January, the deal was almost done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hugo had a different agent then, but I'm assuming the deal's still there to be done for the summer transfer window, which his current agent has had absolutely nothing to do with. And so this current agent is trying to stamp his trademark onto the deal by looking for more. It's all about ego as far as I'm concerned with the new agent, because he's had nothing to do with the deal in the first place.
It's an interesting thought, Billy, to be honest. Very good thought. Paul, I heard that the Ekitike doesn't want to come after hearing Wenger. Listen, has Wenger ever spoken?
He's never seen us, has he?
Yeah, but I don't think Wenger's ever. Yeah, he didn't see a lot, did he? Let's be fair. But I've never heard Wenger come out and criticise Newcastle though since he's been out, out of football.
No, I haven't.
No. Jade says we were getting Hugo in, Hugo out, in, out. Fuck off, done with it. Move on. It screams trouble in the future. You're not the first person I've heard say that, by the way. And by the way, Jade's got her first show tomorrow night on NE1 TV with me as first guest. So I'm really proud she's asked me to be the first guest on the new channel. So keep your eyes open on Twitter. I think it's 8 o'clock start. Jade, let me know in the comments. I can't remember what time you agree. I think it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, NE1 TV. And of course, that is for the Sports Trader as well, the charity that we have linked up with. So good evening to Ian as well, and Ricky if he's watching. Mark says they are French and hate our guts. They will take the money though. Doctor says he's tall, he's dope, he is our fucking Pope. Oh,
wow.
It's all about agents these days. They're just greedy buggers. Scene Perquetta is 4-6 on to join us on Sky Bet, and Ericsson is 6-4 also. Ericsson's been getting a bit of a mention today, Billy. I mean, where do you stand on that one?
With Sky Bet quoting us as 6-4, they've just put on here that Christian Eriksen has got a tree between Manchester United and Brentford, so kind of strange. And this is Sky Sports News, so I don't think he'll come to us. I don't think
he will either.
I think he'll stay with Brentford, I'll be honest with you.
I think he'll stay in London. I think he'll stay in London with Brentford.
Well, we said this at the beginning of the week, didn't we? That if it would be very difficult for Christian Eriksen because he will feel a pull towards Brentford because of what they've done for him, putting him back in the big time, giving him the opportunity to play in the Premier League again at the very top level. And listen, he's thanked them by his performances on the pitch. There's no doubt about it. But listen, he's there. He's got a big bond with the fans, obviously. Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't love him at the Toon, because I would absolutely love him at Newcastle. But I'm not sure. I don't think he's coming. He may have had conversations. There has been reported he's had conversations with us. But, Man United, for me, I don't think would suit Eriksen. I really don't. I think they're all over the place, Man United, at the minute. And it's absolutely laughable. I mean, Goldbridge was
why go to Man United, though? What for?
They're not going to win anything next season. They're certainly not going to challenge for the league. I mean, will they be even in the top 6 the way they're going? The players, they haven't signed anybody. And I think they're the team that are going to, for me, probably, the biggest name to miss out in the top 6 next season without a shadow of a doubt, because they're just not. I mean, listen, Den Haag might come in and just prove us all wrong and be a fantastic manager and attract the players in, but they're all over the shop at the minute. And I don't think Man United is a very, good option for a lot of players at the minute. And, that's our hatred, obviously, aside. I just think they're all over the place. Jed says, after watching your show on Monday, I had a worse day in my life as I found my son had died in his sleep watching the show to take my mind off. So sad. So thanks. He was 36. Jesus, Jed, I'm so sorry, man. That's absolutely awful. Man, if there's anything we can do, get in touch, mate. That is awful. I'm glad you can watch this show to take your mind off things, mate. And listen, if you want to talk to any of us, just to
please reach out if you need us.
Just reach out. Yeah, you can get us on social media. The Toon Review email address is in the description, Jed. That is so sad, mate. I'm really, really sorry. But we will try and keep taking your mind off it with shows coming up, mate, as well. So try and keep your chin up. I know it's very, very difficult. But you've got all our love and thoughts and prayers, mate. So stay positive if you can. Mike says, don't stress. Of course, they're looking at other targets already. I wish we didn't get these updates sometimes because people get stressed. Massive decision for the lad. Really stressed? I mean, come on. It's just.
I'm not stressed.
But the decision's been taken out of the lad's hands by the sound of things.
Yeah. Listen, when you get people coming on camera and saying, welcome to Newcastle, or he's going to sign, he's got a medical boot, all of this crap, right? That is when fans get annoyed. because you're saying somebody's signing. And how many people have already done a thing saying Ekitike is a Newcastle player and all of this bullshit?
Pathetic.
And that's what it is. It's bullshit. And it leads people on, and it leads people up the garden path the wrong way. And that's I hate watching that kind of stuff because it's just rubbish. That players will sign like Nick Pope today when it's confirmed by the club and they've got photos and a little interview. That is when it's official. Not some Tom, Dick, or Harry sitting in front of a camera going, "Oh, I've been told by my representatives that this guy is a Newcastle player," or "there's a medical book," or, we're going for different. It's absolute garbage. And it will be garbage till the cows come home. If you want proper news, we will bring it to you. We will bring it to you when and if it happens. The same with the loaded guys. Yes. The same with the loaded guys. They will bring you it when it happens as well. All we do on the channels is we talk about what these players that are linked with will bring to the clubs. We're not sitting here going, "Oh, my brown sources told me that this is happening," and it's, you make a fucking fool of yourself every time. All these people doing in the nose. It's just pathetic.
And then you get gullible people that listen to them, and then they get let down when it doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's why people get stressed, because they take it gospel that these Tom, Dick, or Harry sitting in the kitchen, or wherever they may do the videos, saying that, I've been told that he's coming or he's a Newcastle player. A few weeks ago, bloody Nicholas Pepe was a Newcastle player. Where is he?
Not
Honestly.
here.
Pepe Le Pew, maybe.
Yeah. Stephanie Burt, hello from sunny Spain. Well, enjoy your holiday, Steph.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Lucky bugger. I've just picked my
I bet she's got aircon and we don't, Billy. That's the point.
That's true. That's true.
I've just picked my eldest Olivia up from the airport at tea time. She came home from Magaluf.
How's she doing?
Oh, she's knackered. But,
aye, 100%.
But she didn't tan at all. A friend
I
did.
know she'll be
She
sleeping
went
off
with
a
her best
hangover
mate.
all day, that's why.
Well, no, apparently she didn't go out very much. She wasn't. She just wanted to go out there and relax by the pool and stuff. But listen, I didn't believe a word she says, to be honest.
Oh, you're going to get the edited version, aren't you? That's what you're going to get.
Of course I am. She's not going to tell me, "Oh, I went out, loads of lads cracking onto us and stuff like." She's not going to say a word to me about that, is she? Scott says Billy is right. We will get better and we will go to the top no matter what, because we are the Toon Army and we are homegrown Premier League champions. Oof. Confidence from Scott. The Pope to appear at Newcastle Cathedral on the Hill. Chantel says, "Love watching you unloaded, so that I would check your channel out." Good, mate. Thank you very much, Chantel. Please do subscribe and be part of this crazy family as well as that crazy family. PSG seem to be putting the blockers on, in my opinion. Something off with French negotiations. Hashtag Frenchness. That's what it is. It's just
I hate
Frenchness.
PSG.
Well, they just think they can get anybody. Paul, I heard on the grapevine, Ekitike doesn't want to come after hearing Wenger wants to bring kick-ins instead of throw-ins to the league. Oh, let's not even go there, because that is just an absolute farce. Danielle, what do you make of that? Kick-ins.
Just rubbish, man. What is that about? Why? Honestly.
Well, they tried it in the non-league. And I heard
that's
the non-league
where it
manager
can
on the
stay in
radio.
the bloody non-league. Like, there's no room for it in the Premier League. Like,
but having said that, how many Premier League players can actually take a throw-in? Because the vast majority of the ones I see are all foul throws.
Well, I think they practice the wrong way at Arsenal, because it's normally Arsenal, isn't it? They've got the problems with the throw-ins. They're bloody all over the shop. They really are. Anthony Martial was a hot prospect, to be honest. Just look what happened. Yeah. Somebody asked me today if I'd take Martial, and I'm like, no. I don't think Martial is good enough for where we want to be. And I don't think the Premier League suits him at all. I think he's struggled. Daniil says, evening. So it's au revoir to Hugo, I guess. Anyway, we have a Pope. Kenwood says, what's also crazy is in South America, clubs and agents can own part of the player, even if they move on to another club. Well, didn't that happen with Mascherano and
Tevez,
who was the other one? Tevez?
Yeah.
West Ham signed for West Ham, and there was all sorts of crap, wasn't there?
They should be relegated because of it, and they got fired about 3 years after. But that didn't help Sheffield United, who were relegated.
Yeah,
due to the actions of Tevez, who was outstanding for the last month of the season, wasn't he? Scored lots of goals. Scored at Old Trafford in the last game.
Yeah. Dan says, I've watched the highlights of Ekitike playing against PSG, and one of the commentators called him Ekitike. Must be a Toon Review fan. Hey,
Must
get it
be.
out there. Yes, without a doubt. John says, I would give it until Wednesday, Ekitike and Botman to get the deals done. If there is nothing, I would walk away. Possibly. But Danielle, I mean, if you were in the position now at Newcastle United, you know, and you're getting a club like Neil playing silly buggers, then you're getting agents playing silly buggers. How long do you actually give it? Because these two deals seem to have gone on for God knows how long. Well, since January, really, haven't they?
Yeah, I'd be on my second and third choice by now. But I don't know. I'm not an expert in football transfers and how to make them happen. So I think do the play a waiting game and try and sign somebody else in the meantime, and with a view that it might come off over the summer. I don't know, but yeah, it's just really tedious. Bearing in mind this has been since January now. This isn't just a window thing. We went through all of this in January, and deadline day was all it's on, and then the player changed his mind, and I'm not disrespecting him. He's a young kid, but
yeah,
there's got to be similar, talented players out there that we can get that don't want European football, because that's the kind of players we're going to need right now until we get there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jade's asking if we can move on to Norfolker. Yeah, fantastic talent. Almost as good as Mo Lester. I mean,
Don't mention Mo Lester.
Kenman said if he didn't instruct his agent to make it happen, then he didn't want it to happen. I'm seeing a lot of that as well, saying that the player is playing off here. People are blaming the agent, but Hugo's sitting back just waiting for PSG to come in and offer something, Billy.
Could be the case. I mean, no one knows who the agent is. He's a faceless person. We will not blame him, but we don't know. We may never know. I'm sure the owners would have been burnt by what happened in January with the Botman and Ekitike deals, and it's a shorter window, obviously. But surely this window they'd have set a line, a date after which they moved on to other targets. And the fact they've gone this far proves that they must want the players really badly, in my opinion. But I imagine if it goes another week, then they'll just move it.
Patience on expected so far, doesn't it?
It does, but then you're going to get the clubs of Lille and the agent. They'll be back in again, making little we do want to come. You've got to be ruthless in this business. I think really, time's now to move on.
Spot on. Yep, absolutely. V says, have you guys bought new cameras? Everyone is looking good. Well, yes. I've had this one a while now. Billy's got the one I used to use. I sent it down to him via the Royal Mail. And obviously that's why he's looking nice and clear now, because he's got a vlogging. And Danielle now has a MacBook, which shows her in crystal clear HD. And
apologies,
she's coming across
everyone.
And she's looking really good and sounding really good. So yeah, we want to improve the channel, obviously, and having good cameras makes that. And it's better. Well, yeah, but it's better for people viewing as well, that you're not sort of blurring out and cutting out every now and again. And Alex, when he gets back over and he gets himself sorted, he's got camera set up and everything. So we will be bringing you top quality vision as well as sound from the Toon Review. I'm sure a bat just flew past my eye again. You know what it is? I don't like these summer nights, guys, because things get into this house. See, the problem is I've got a massive big woods behind me, all right? And things live in there that shouldn't be allowed to live in there. I'm sure of it, like monsters. I'm sure there's a Yeti lives in there. There's a Black Panther been seen.
You never
numerous
found the
times.
bat, though, did you?
You what?
You never found the original bat, though, did you?
No, I didn't.
So it might have had bat babies by now.
Very true, very true. But you never know. The house could be full of bat babies. Jim, good evening. He says somebody knows in the club and the player and his parasite, but we will only find out when a yes or no is given. Ab says, I'm a little frustrated at the transfer window so far, but still very happy with where we are as a club. I mean, let's not forget, we've brought in Nick Pope now, Matt Targett on a permanent basis. Let's not forget where the current squad, from January onwards, got us, and where they were in the league from January onwards. We were a top 4 football team. Let's not forget that. So to say that, all these panicking, we've got a fantastic manager who gets the best out of the current crop of players that we have. And that current crop of players that we've got didn't have to well for us
Absolutely.
for the last 6 months of the season. So a few add-ons to that will be perfect. I'm sure of it. So
we
let's
just need more depth, don't we? That's what we need.
Although we haven't really improved it, all we did is because we already had Target. Remember, all we've done really is improve the goalkeeping position, which is obviously great. But I mean, we're not even 2 weeks in yet, so
exactly
lots of time to go.
Let's just relax, chill, smoke doobies. No, don't do that.
No.
Just
the Toon Review does not advocate smoking doobies.
We don't. I just did a little thing. You know, it was on James May did on Top Gear about bus drivers and stuff. That was hilarious. You had to be there, but it doesn't matter. Heard today that ASM is catching the eye of Chelsea and Spurs. I've heard, Danielle, or I've read, certainly on social media today, that he's had his head turned.
Has he? By who? By Chelsea or Spurs?
Well, yeah.
Come on, man. Let's be realistic. Like,
he's going nowhere, is he?
ASM goes to Spurs and he's benched. He doesn't get into that team. Like, this is the negative side to the transfer window is that it's going to be like, oh, these are coming for ASM, these are coming for, you know, Callum Wilson or whatever. ASM's not going nowhere. I'd put my wage on it. I would put my wage on it. He's not going anywhere.
If there was ever an anti-Conte player, it's ASM. They've already got. They've already got.
I agree, Billy.
They've already got Hung Min Son. They've got Kulusevski to the side. There's absolutely nowhere for him to go in that side.
He's not going to get in the team. And I think Conte would pull his hair out with Maxi. He really would. Kenman says Stato is chasing after Ekitike's agent, John Wick style. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We can neither
Andrew
confirm nor
says
deny.
you look 10 years younger, Danielle.
Oh, thanks.
She also hasn't had a drink this week, which might help that. I've got to get it in every show, Danielle. You know I have. Just one little sort of... Nikki says, good evening, everyone in the chat. Another £4.49 super chats coming from Clarky697. Thank you very much, Clarky. Great show as always, guys. Thank you very much. George says, Billy, mate, I'm glad you're back. Hopefully you feel better today.
Thank you, George.
You are looking better, Billy, apart from the red nose. I mean, you know, Rudolph would be proud, but
that's the ball we mad before we started.
Yeah, but when you blow your nose 3,000 times a day with a cold, it is not easy. But
Billy, you know what you need to get? Listen to Nurse Danielle, right? You need to get some Happy Nose cream for your nose. It's called Happy Nose. It's not a joke, right? And it'll calm it all down and stop it being all so nasty. There you go.
Do you know what? I actually think it's a bit sunburned because when it was at work today.
You do look more sunburnt than stuffy, Billy, to be honest. But listen.
But it's a recommendation anyway. Keep your
happy
nose
happy.
Yes, the Toon Review, ladies and gentlemen. What can
Caring
you say?
for your nasal needs.
Caring for your medical needs with Nurse Danielle. Dave says, don't think Pope would have signed unless he'd been given assurances that he'd be number one. Luke says that's what happened when Chelsea got their takeover. They bought two really good goalkeepers. Susan's in the house. Glenn says, we, Billy, hope you feel much better. There you go. Skippity, skip. Maggot says, two strikers, Ericsson and a centre-back, not Botman, the big lass. Take it. He does not want. Godfather says, hello, Toon Review. Odds slashed for Ericsson to join. What are your opinions? Well, we mentioned him before, and certainly at the minute, Sky apparently have us one of the favourites to sign him, but then on something else, they're basically saying it's between Man United and Brentford.
Sky Sports.
So, God knows. So, Sky Sports and Sky Bet, you need to sort of merge together, and but then again, they can't tell the difference between Isaac Hayden, Jacob Murphy, or various other players.
Absolutely.
So this is another point about betting and people saying that I know that Christian Eriksen is going to sign. People might have saw someone saying that whoever, and I'd see Kay saying Eriksen's going to sign, gone to Sky, how much are the odds of Christian Eriksen to sign? I'll have £5 on it. And that's how the odds tumble. 25 to 1 to 2 to 1 because of the money going on it. I mean, we don't know who's been putting this money on.
Yeah.
If they've been getting false knowledge from other people, then that's kind of despicable in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. Billy Trey, ladies and gentlemen, the encyclopedia of football, as we said the other day. He is our football historian and betting guru. Bet responsibly, people.
Absolutely.
John says we need to think out of the box with the striker. Get someone like Iheanacho from Leicester. Cheeky £20 million bid might be enough. Iheanacho is a good finisher. There's no doubt about that. But is he another kind of injury-prone player? Because he has missed a lot last season. Him and Vardy, were out for quite a lot, and I think that affected Leicester City.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
But
We have some injury-prone, bulky strikers, don't we? I don't get it.
I'm not got strikers that can't score either. I mean, Chris Wood, I can't cope. Like, just get rid. We need someone who can hit the ball in the back of the net. Like, I don't understand what's so difficult about it. It's a job. Like, nah, man. I'd take anyone who can score goals right now. Like, not bothered about the name.
See, I agree with Colin's comment here. We need a right winger and a quality striker. I do think that the right wing position is something we do need to improve.
Yes.
Because at the minute, I'm happy defensively wise. Middle of the park, very happy with at the minute. That's not to say that another midfielder coming in just to boost the squad. But right wing, Ryan Fraser and Miggy's not an out-and-out right winger anyway. But that's where Howe seems to play him. I don't think they're good enough there. I think we need a top quality somebody to come in. Diaby for me. I know he's been linked with us numerous times, but he would be a brilliant signing. And by the way, I've signed him in Football Manager as well. Just put it out.
Oh, well, there you go then.
I mean, what position are you most worried about, Danielle, that we're not addressing at the minute?
I think a mixture between winger and striker, right winger, because Callum Wilson's a great goal scorer, and I know we scraped through, and I know that we had conversations in January, sometimes often heated conversations about where we were going to score goals from. But we need someone who is going to regularly score goals, and that's a concern for me. Like, Chris Wood is not going to do it. I would have sent him back to Burnley, did a little trade, knocked a bit more off Pope's price, and sent him back. Callum Wilson, hopefully he stays fit for the season. Now that he's been looked after as he should have been looked after all along. But we need someone else to come in and score the goals, because ultimately, that's what we need. So, yeah, striker or winger for me. Midfield, I don't know. In terms of midfield, with rumours, I know that John Joe was away. He was going to go somewhere. That hasn't really materialised. So, I guess that's a waiting game in terms of what's going to happen with midfield if we're going to bring somebody else in. I don't think we'll get Paqueta. No.
Clarky, I think you're having a mare. Is Neymar next? Doubt it very much, but he's been linked today. Look, Neymar is trying to command wages of over £500,000 a week, guys. It's safe to say that we're not going to be paying that. Never in a million sodding years will we pay that much in wages. So, Spider says, hi, Paul, Billy, and Danielle. Question, do you think that Pope as number one, will Dubravka walk, as he also needs number one spot to play for his country? Well, we discussed that before, Spider. If you didn't catch it, watch the rerun, mate, because we do think that, well, Danielle especially thinks that he may want to move on. For me, I don't think... did we find out if Dubravka's country made the World Cup? Did Slovakia make the World Cup? Can you check that, Billy?
Absolutely.
I'm intrigued to know. Pope will be number one, with Dubs coming in for injuries. Where's Dan's eyebrows? They're there. They're just very light. Ekitike is the bomb. Glad to have him. Excuse me? Do you know something, Lee Leyland, that we don't? Lee Leyland, that we don't? Because he hasn't signed.
Been on certain YouTube channels, that's where he's been.
Yeah. Abs says Billy's sound is fine. So there you go.
Cheers, Abs.
Actually, Billy, with a sentence, whatever you've done there, it sounds spot on now. So just leave it like that, mate, and it's spot on. Spot on.
Slovakia didn't qualify anyway.
Clarky says, can you ask Billy to turn his mic up? I can't hear him now. Mark says his sound is spot on. You're good, Billy. Don't worry. There you go. Matthew says, I'm going to try and get a season ticket on Tuesday, but I'm not expecting to get one. Oh, God.
You got 100 to 1 chance, so you could get one.
Listen, I wish everybody the very best who's going to go for it, because it's going to be hard. It is going to be hard. There's no doubt about that. Lee says, I named my son after the king, Sir Bobby Robson. Nice one. John Elliott, thank you for your £5 super chat. Very kind, mate. And he says, plenty time to bring in players. Yeah. I mean, we're not sitting here panicking. We're just, I think it's more frustration with these two, with Ekitike and Botman, because we hear about them every day, and something's changed every day, whereas something's changed in the, with regards to Lille bumping up prices, or Ekitike's agent changing the mind and they're going somewhere else, or holding out for another club to come in. It's ridiculous. Davey says, I probably won't get a season ticket, but hopefully I can pick up a ticket here and there, or pay for hospitality. Living in Scotland, I would pick games I can make and let family use the ones I can't. Mark says, the club are on a hiding to nothing. It doesn't matter what they do. There's a lot of fans walked away vowing not to put a penny in Ashley's pocket. So what happens, happens.
And I'm one of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just, it's one of them things. And, Danielle, I think people that did walk away under Mike Ashley, I was one of them. I didn't go for 2 years because I was fed up of spending so much money. But then, I was lucky that I went and got mine back last summer. And I was glad I did. I'm really happy I did now, because obviously we've had the takeover. The club's going in a different direction. But there's so many ways you guys out there who don't have tickets can keep up. This channel will be doing watch-alongs, home and away games. We'll keep you up to date. I'll be doing various stuff from the ground as well, with regards to interviewing fans before the game and doing immediate reactions and stuff like that. So you will get the very best coverage on here that we can possibly bring you. And we intend to do that throughout the season. Louis says, never had a season ticket for Newcastle. And with the shit you have had, I would love one. As Susan Boyle would say, I dream a dream.
Good luck, Louis.
I'm sure you could have come out with somebody different than bloody Susan Boyle, Louis. I mean, if that's the kind of music you listen to, it's neither wonder you're depressed all the time.
He's trying to keep John happy, isn't
he? I guess so. By the club withdrawn, it puts all the pressure back on the club, player, and agent. Yeah, that's been this. Scan says, which position is a must? Striker, centre back, or a winger? I think a winger. I think a right winger is a must for us. I really do. I think I'm sticking my neck on the line here. Maxi's going to come good next season, right? I don't know why I'm saying that, but I am. Nobody, please screenshot or take recordings. But I've
no, they won't. You know why they
feeling
won't?
very positive.
You're saying something positive. You don't get trolled for being positive these days. You get trolled for having an opinion.
Well, you get trolled for anything, to be honest, don't you? But,
good point, well made.
Sad people.
Mm-hmm.
Gangster season ticket already in big demand. New stadium should build 100,000 capacity, and that will change the whole perception towards the world. Yes, but the question is, where on earth would we be able to build a 100,000 capacity stadium in Newcastle?
Thing is, I don't know. I don't know. I think if they came out and said, right, here are our plans for a new stadium in this location, I don't know. I think we're going to be in a similar situation where a certain percentage of the fan base are going to be like, whoa, hang on. That St. James's Park is our home and we want to keep it that way. So as we get more successful and, you gradually want to improve in all areas, including the stadium, then, they can't win. So do we build a new stadium and, fit loads more people in, but then we lose what's happened previously to a sense, because I know that they'll probably put something at St. James's Park instead, I don't know, but it won't be the same, will it? But I don't know. I just feel for the owners. I think there's a lot of decisions that need to be made. I think they'll probably do a lot of consultation with the fan base, and rightfully so. But either way, you can't please all the people all the time, can you?
I mean, I've seen what happens when you knock down a stadium and build another one. And where Highfield Road was, it's now a housing estate, and it's pitiful, really. Well, what happened to it wasn't a great stadium, Highfield Road, but it was part of the community.
Yeah,
knocked it down, built a jerry-built house.
Never been the same, has it, Billy? Since they built the Rico, it's never been the same.
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
I've had a few trips to Highfield Road, and it was an old stadium, but it had that kind of atmosphere around it. You know what I mean? It felt like it felt like a stadium.
Yeah, I agree.
I haven't been to Rico, but when you see it on TV, you think it's just not Highfield Road, is it?
It's not.
And of course, all the problems that they've had with it, and with ownership and stuff like that.
Well, they don't even own the ground, so
it's terrible.
The tenants for Wasps Rugby Football Club at the moment, but I just think times that by maybe 10 or 20 for St James's Park and building into the stadium. To me, that's not the answer. There's got to be a way of building it.
Tanguy makes a very, very good point here. The season ticket issues could be resolved in some way if TV broadcasters, they introduced a season ticket system for TV viewers. Now, am I right to believe that they still do that in the EFL? Because when the lockdown was on, you could subscribe. I can't remember what it's called, but you could subscribe and you could watch every game. And I still get them emails for AFC Wimbledon. So I'm not sure whether it's still going on, but that was like you could watch every game. And even when the pandemic ended, you could still subscribe to this service. So, but I just think that the problem is, Tanguy, that there's so much money involved in football now, especially with the Premier League, that the fans don't get thought about. They really don't. And we said that for a good few years now. The fans do not care, do not get cared about as much as they should do. And I'm sure if that was the case, it wouldn't stop fans going if there was season tickets available on TV to watch every game. That wouldn't stop me going to St James's Park to watch them live, but it would be a massive help to all the other people who can't go. But unfortunately, money rules, bigwigs rule, and they don't think about the fans, which is a real shame because that is a good idea. We've got the troll back.
Yay!
There you go. Have a read of that. Apparently, I'm getting a new bike now.
Bike?
I don't ride a bike, but apparently I'm getting a new one. And he thinks
Hills
that everybody out there are lunatics.
Look at the profile picture. You need to get a life, son. Does your mum know you're on the internet?
I know. Unbelievable.
And that film, The Hills Have Eyes, probably typifies him perfectly, to be fair.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, though. I really do appreciate it. And, calling everybody lunatics, I mean, what a guy, considering you're the biggest lunatic of the lot. Hang on a minute. No, I can't find it. No, I can't find that fuck I was going to give, but it's gone. Yeah. It's... Oh, dear me. We're going to get a full crowd either way, but we are going to... but are we going to fill it with people who are jumping on the bandwagon or people who have literally roared the team this season? I don't think we have to worry about that kind of thing just yet, to be honest. These plastic fans or whatever they're called, that doesn't bother me or worry me at the minute because the amount of season tickets that have been sold already due to, last season, they've been bought by the people that made that atmosphere possible at St James's last season. So I'm not really worried about that. When we do upgrade the stadium or go somewhere higher, Danielle, then maybe that's when the plastic fans get tickets.
Absolutely. I think we've got, like you say, we've got a while to go yet. But again, when it comes to that time, what do the owners do? Like, I don't know. I mean, if you look at clubs like City, for example, look at the state of it that they had. It's just, I mean, there's nothing there, is there, in terms of atmosphere? And I don't think Newcastle will ever be like that. I don't think, regardless of, fans coming in for whatever reason later down the line, we'll still have that spine who have got black and white blood.
And you look at that City thing as well. I mean, the City, 30,000 fans through the door of Main Road in the third division. They had an amazing fan base at one time.
Yeah,
which seems to have dissipated since they had the takeover. When the people that should have been reaping the rewards of the takeover obviously aren't. It's wrong, really. They're priced them out of the market, I guess.
Tampa Toon, thank you for your $50 super chat. He's put in the comments, here's to Paul's snazzy new bike. Why am I getting a bike? Never mind. Kungo Fox says, so many wafflers saying Ericsson was in Newcastle yesterday. Not going to trust anything until I see Fabrizio confirm it or they're in a Toon shirt. I don't think. I have.
Certainly don't put money on him being coming to Newcastle because you've read somewhere that he's in the bike. He's in a bike? He's in
bike. It's just all about the bike now, isn't it?
We've got bike in the head.
He's riding a bike around across Newcastle. I don't believe for 1 second Ericsson was in Newcastle yesterday. Not an absolute second. Congrats to Steve Bruce on 45 years of robbing a living, says Louis. Yes, indeed.
He was a good player, to be fair to him. He was a good player.
Billy?
No, you got to give credit where it's due. He was a good player. He played for some wanker sides, but he was a good player.
Stop being so fair, Billy. Oh,
I know. He's always sticking up for Brucey.
I remember him playing for Norwich. I remember him playing for Gillingham in the early 80s.
Wow.
Player.
I know he was a good player, but he should have got more England caps. There's no doubt about that.
One would have done. He didn't get any.
He didn't get any. I know. Absolutely crazy.
What a shame.
Michael Marsden, thank you. 89.99 super chat. Legend, absolute legend. By the way, Michael, I'll text you tomorrow to meet up, mate. It's been too long, so I'll text you tomorrow and we'll get something arranged.
Bike shopping.
We'll go bike shopping. Yeah, we'll go bike shopping, Michael. I'm sure we'll have a good laugh with that.
we don't have
HM says Tour de France is coming up. If you want to try out the new me and the Tour de France, can you imagine? Jesus Christ!
And there's lots of hills in the Tour de France.
Do they have eyes though, Billy?
Oh, there'll be a lot of Frenchmen like that.
Yeah,
guarantee it. Hashtag Frenchness.
Yes, indeed. Jock, thank you for the £2 super chat. Here, Paul, get a spare inner tube for the bike. I mean, does this guy, right? That idiot troll not realize that everybody just laughs at him? You know what I mean? That's the thing. Everybody just laughs at him. He tries to cause problems with everybody, and he just crashes and burns every time because of the great people that watch this channel. Honestly, it's just stupid. But anyway,
he's clearly obsessed.
I think he is obsessed. He is obsessed. Right, we've come to the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for watching tonight and giving up your Thursday night. It's been a pleasure. Obviously, the first, well, can we call him the first sign or the second sign? I think it's the first, really, isn't it? Because Target was already here. But an absolute pleasure to welcome Nick Pope to Newcastle United. I think Newcastle were brilliant the way they put out that tweet with the white smoke above St James's Park. Absolutely superb. So it's the start for me. It's the start of something happening now. Whether Ekitike, whether you want to believe whatever, it doesn't matter. If he comes or he doesn't, we will have other options. And I'm sure that's what Eddie and Dan Ashworth are working at anyway. And the new owners, they will have a list, they will have targets, and they will go for them when they feel like they have to. But at the minute, have we walked away? Have we not? It's all up in the air. But that video I did today was just basically off that report. And, that's what it is. And it's a journalist I trust. So who knows? But if he does come, then we'll be happy to welcome him, as for Botman as well. But with Newcastle United, you just never know what's around the corner. And that's the exciting thing. You never know what you're going to wake up to from one day to another, from 1 hour to another. You just don't know what's going to happen. We could be in for somebody that we've never, ever mentioned. So it's going to be interesting. But I can't wait. But thank you, Danielle and Billy, for your company tonight. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to everybody that has super chatted and continued support of the channel. Whether you super chat or you just view, it's incredible. Thank you so much. If you have enjoyed it, please do subscribe if you're new to the channel and hit the notification bell so you know when we upload or we go live. But thank you, everybody. Thank you. We'll be back. As I say, I'm on with Jade tomorrow night on Any1 TV. We might do a show at some point. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what news breaks in the morning, because when you get out of bed, God knows. Normally, I wake up to a message from Billy telling me what's happened already at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm looking forward to that. He keeps me well informed, which is just what we need. So we're always on the ball, guys. We'll try and bring you as much as we can. But thank you, everybody. I really mean that. I'm away out now to ride my bike around the block, get a sweat on, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday, guys. And we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Good night, guys.
How are the lads?